Hi guys, my name is Dede. Welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, it's lovely to have you. But if you're old, hey boo, it's nice to have you back. This recipe is a perfect and great side dish you would need for your Christmas setup. It is this beautiful and delicious potato and beef pottage or pottage, like they say in French. So if you're interested in this recipe, come on with me and let's get started. Don't forget, please subscribe to my channel. So here I have some marinated beef. I'll be leaving all the ingredients in the description box below. I have some veggies. Use any veggies of your choice. I'm using some bell peppers, some onions, and some carrots. I also have my potatoes here. I have some minced ginger and garlic. It gives the dish a fresh element. I have some cornstarch or cornflour, some chili flakes, and then I'm going to go on and start by peeling my potatoes. So I'm using a total of 5 medium-sized potatoes. These ingredients are not difficult to use at all. You can easily eyeball them and then go ahead and then get started with your dish, okay? And like I said, this dish is so perfect for a side dish. You can have it on your Christmas table and everybody is going to reach out for it. It is so good and so easy to make, okay? But I'll be leaving all the ingredients that I used and the quantities in the description box. So if you really want to go according to what I did, you're going to have it definitely. So I'm done peeling my potatoes. I have washed them nicely. I'm going to be cutting them into quarters and eighths, like let's say 8, because no, not really. So you cut them into desirable pieces, okay? Just that you don't want them to be too tiny. You don't want them to be too tiny, otherwise it's going to mash up in our pottage and we don't want that, okay? So just look at these sizes and then cut them accordingly. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below and I would love to hear from you guys. I'd love to answer every single one of them. I love it when you guys send me comments in the comment section below. It makes it very interactive and it makes me feel really close to you guys. So yes, I'll be waiting to hear from you. Once I am done, I have some boiling water on the fire and it's boiling like real hot. So what I'm going to do now is to season the water with some salt, and then I'm going to pour in my potatoes and allow them to cook for between 12 to 15 minutes, okay? Or until when you insert a fork into it, it breaks apart or very soft, okay? So yes, not too soft. We don't want it to be mushy or mushy. No, the fork inserted in there should just go through smoothly. But this is about 98% cooked because I'll be cooking the 2% later on. So make sure to check it very well, okay? You don't want overcooked potatoes at all. Once that is done, I'm going to start by making my sauce. So in my wok, I'm adding some oil. I don't know if you can see it. You can really see it because it's not really showing, but there's some oil in it, and I'm going to start by frying my beef. So what I'm going to do now is to spread all of the beef into the pot, making sure that every one of the beef touches some part of the pot so that it can all cook evenly and at once. Now this is a good time for me to flip over my beef so that I can cook on the other side as well. Know how to cut your beef really well to get it very tender and nice, okay? How you cut your beef is going to make it tough or tender. So I have a recipe where I showed you guys how to cut the beef, how I slice my beef. I'll be leaving it in the description box below, so you check it out and then go according to it, and you're going to have the most tender beef you will ever eat, okay? Now that we are done with the beef, I've pushed it to the side and I'm frying here my chopped garlic and ginger. I realized that it had no oil on that side, so I just had to pour a little bit of oil just so the garlic and ginger can fry and not burn. So that's exactly what I've done. And once I'm convinced with how much it has fried, which is in about 1 minute, the flavors are coming out really nicely and I can smell that it's cooking, I'm going to mix it all up together with my beef. And here I can confidently shout, flavor! The flavors are so good. This dish is flavor packed. You just love it from the top to the bottom, from the front to the back. It's just so good, so delicious. Now I've also added my chopped onions. I'm going to toast this around for about a minute or so, and then I'm going to go on with my cooking. This recipe is flavor packed. We just build and build the flavors in layers, and they're just amazing all together. So now that the onions have fried for a bit, it's a good time for us to add our carrots. Now I like to add the carrots before the rest of the vegetables because the carrots take a while to cook. They are harder. So we just want to tenderize it a little bit and then add the rest of our vegetables. So I'm going to toss this around for about a minute or so, and it will be good, and then we can add the rest of our vegetables. In goes our bell peppers. In this recipe, I'm using the red, yellow, and green bell peppers. If you have the orange, go ahead and add it, and it's just going to add more color and beauty to your dish. Also, in this recipe, I didn't cut my bell peppers too big because I wanted to infuse into my pottage and then have all the flavors marry, okay? Now it's time for us to season it. Okay, we're going to be adding some salt, some chili flakes, and then we're going to add some black pepper. Now this black pepper I got from Miss Cookie Spice. Is just amazing and 100% natural. It's so good, and I love the flavor that comes out when I use it. So I'm going to add just a little bit, and then I'll give it a good mix. You know, we didn't season the vegetables before, so here we are seasoning the vegetables, and of course the flavors are also building beautifully. Now we're making a pottage, so definitely we need some sauce. Okay, so I've added some water to my beef and veggies, and I'm going to add a thickening agent just so the water doesn't just walk around in our sauce. Okay, so the cornflour is a perfect one for me. If you have potato flour, it's also amazing, you can use it. But if you don't have either of them, you can go ahead and use all-purpose flour, and it should work the same. Okay, so you mix it together, and now to my favorite ingredient for this recipe. It just took it to a whole new level, and you don't want to miss this out. This is my curry powder. I added some curry powder to it, and mine, oh mine, it took it to a whole level altogether. At this point, you can notice that our vegetables are also cooking down beautifully. Yes, that's what we want. We want it to cook down beautifully and then marry into the sauce, and then when our potatoes go in, it's just going to be a beautiful pottage altogether. Now I made my sauce in quite a bigger quantity because I needed some for something else. So I'm going to fetch some and then leave it aside. At this point, it is fully cooked. The sauce is perfectly done. You make sure you taste for salt, for pepper, for all your seasoning. If it's perfect, you know you're ready to go on with your cooking. This is the perfect time for me to add my potatoes. Now once the potatoes go in, they're not supposed to be in for long. A minute or two is fine, because remember, the potatoes are already cooked, so you don't want to overcook them by having them sit in there for too long. Okay, in this dish at this moment, we're going to be having some crunch from the carrots, but if you feel you want more crunch, this is a good time for you to add some more bell peppers to it, and then allow it to cook with the potatoes. Remember, it's just going to be in there for about a minute or two, so yes, if you add it then, it's not going to cook down too quickly, and you're going to have that beautiful crunch and all that. But I have my children eating it as well. If the vegetables are too much, they're not going to eat it, and if the vegetables are softer, they like it that way. So yes, this is just absolutely perfect for me. And tell me, doesn't it look so amazing and so delicious? I don't know who will say they won't eat this dish. It's just so good and so satisfying. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Do not forget to subscribe, and a Merry Christmas to you and your entire family. Sending you so much and lots of love. See you next time in my next recipe.